Yeah. And we're live.
We
Good morning. It is good morning this week.
Just about.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Only a
Just
few minutes
clicking
late.
by.
Having some technical issues this morning. Had to turn it off and back on again so that Michelle and I could actually hear each other.
Yeah. We were planning an elaborate you talking through my WhatsApp, and it's just going to get complicated. So it'd be easier just to keep it on this. Yeah.
Yes, I think. And also for the recording, it's better if people can hear us both. But yes, good morning. Welcome to WTF, Women Talking Facts. This is the weekly live podcast thingy that Michelle and I have been doing for about 18 months now.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. I don't think it's actually more than that, because I think it was October that we started it, and that is less than 6 months away.
Stop it. Yes. It'll be 2027 before we know it.
I know. Like, I can't believe I was booking in a call with someone. We're like, oh, let's catch up in a couple of weeks' time, and I was like, oh June. My god, it's like middle of June, and we're in the middle of a flipping heat wave. So I'm in my happy place. Although I'm on calls until 3 today. I really planned that terribly. All I want to be doing is sitting. I've got it all laid out. I've got like my garden sofas out, the cushions are out, the parasols up, and I'm set. But I've got to sit here at my computer until 3 o'clock. Damn it!
This is my last call today, so not bragging.
Perfect bank holiday weekend weather. So I hope you are all planning a nice weekend. All of our gorgeous listeners are planning a nice weekend and enjoying the sunshine. I'm doing some gardening. I bought some like garden planters with trellis.
Ooh.
Yeah, for the Audi special buy. I am obsessed now. I follow 2 accounts, and they are Audi employees, and so they do like what the specials are on a Thursday and a Sunday. So like Wednesday evening and Saturday evening, it's like, this is what's coming out in Audi middle aisle. I was like, oh, I love the planters. I have to have the planters. So I had to run in there yesterday morning and get them. I have such a sad little life, but it keeps me happy.
As long as if it brings you joy, then it does.
It
doesn't matter.
They are flat pack though, so I suspect there will be a period of not joy, and then there will be a period of joy once they're built and they've actually got plants in them. And if I can keep the plants alive, because I don't have the best track record.
Yeah.
But there we go. But yes, anyway, this is WTF, Talking Facts, the weekly live where Michelle and I bring to you the most disturbing and awful and gross examples of misogyny from just across the web, just this week. We share them with you so that we can, spread the hate a little further and just have a good old rant about it, because it's cathartic. It is. And then we wrap things up with our FAFO section, where we try and give you a few examples of people that just got a little taste of their own medicine, because that is also cathartic. Although we're a bit slim on the ground this week. We've only got one. We normally try and find 2.
Yeah, no. I almost said, oh, this is funny, but then it's about reform and not misogyny and sexism. It was just the Reform Council losing their shit because they don't know how to do council stuff. It's like, well,
oh my god, that video is so funny.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's hilarious, but tragic. Absolutely tragic. It's like Google exists.
But also my dad, because I was quite upset when I saw the results, and my dad very wisely said, like, let them get into the local councils and let everybody see how blooming awful they are, and then by the time general election comes around, they'll be like lost faith. And this is a perfect example. It's like, here they are, they're doing it, they're fulfilling their role of just proving that they are not fit to be in positions of leadership. Nope. So we're going to start off with, we missed it last week, our usual segment of WTF weather this Friday.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't do it last week.
Yeah, you just want to do it because you want to brag.
Yes, so we have for the next 3 days, it's just gorgeous blue skies, and it's so hot. And my garden, because it's got a nice big fence around it, it's like a proper sun trap. But this weekend is going to be crazy. I'm up in Guildford with my family on Sunday, and they've got 29 degrees in Surrey, and I think London's tipping 30. Down here on the coast, we've got like 23, 24, which I'm not sneering at.
Okay. So, would you like it? Would you like to know what the temperature is going to be doing in the northeast of England?
Up north, yes, please.
So today we have highs of 24 degrees. Oh, it's Oliver's last day of actual school today.
Oh my God.
I know. So he's got half a day. Yeah. And him and his girlfriend are going to go and buy a picnic and have a picnic in Durham. A little romantic picnic.
That's so cute.
I know. Anyway, cute. So today, highs of 24. We went to Marks and Spencer's yesterday and I've bought some picky bits for tea tonight just to celebrate.
Nice. An M&S Picky Bits tea is top tier Picky Bits tea.
Yeah, and a tarte au citron.
Oh, yum, yum, yum.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. So yes, today 24, tomorrow 20, Sunday 23, Monday 26.
Yeah. It's like you're pretty much on a par with us.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, hey, Karen, the sea is calling me. Yeah, I'm thinking Monday. Monday's the hottest day. And 24, 25 is about right for me to brave the sea for the first time.
Ooh.
So yeah, maybe a little sea day. I'm trying to convince my friend Lulu to come out and play, but she...
You got jelly shoes for the pebbles.
I have like swim surf shoes.
Yeah.
Which I like, because I can't walk on the pebbles. I don't know people. Lulu just walks on them bare feet. I cannot do it. It just kills me. It hurts too much. Yeah, so yeah, my little swim shoes.
Nice, lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. All right. I think that's it for the updates.
Yeah.
Yep. Although it's also been very exciting.
Who are you?
Oh yeah. Sorry if it's your first time here. I am Felice, founder of Loud Women, and I work with female-founded businesses to grow their visibility, establish themselves as being the experts that they are, and bring a shit ton of personality so that all of their followers just fall in love with them and want to work with them, because that's the most important bit. When I'm not doing that and being an absolute fucking delight to my clients, I am misogynistic men's worst nightmare. And I love to take the piss out of them and tear them down on the internet when they show up and try to ruin women's day, because it is happening all the time. They're just dropping by, just being absolute. See you next Tuesdays. I know. See you next Tuesday. I didn't say anything. It's not a bad word.
Insane.
Yes. So, and if you want more on that, follow me on LinkedIn and Instagram. Today's Friday, which means it's my Dickhead of the Week series, just launched one this morning. And I've also written a book called The 6 Dickheads You Meet Online, which is about the 6 archetypes of bad faith commenters and how to absolutely humble them if blocking and deleting just doesn't satisfy the itch.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
You crack me up.
And they look like butter wouldn't melt normally.
I know. So look at that innocent face. You terrify people.
I love it. I am ferocious when it comes to standing up for my
I did send you into my DM, into my comments this week, maybe twice.
Yes. Yeah. That's actually a good point. If you you can find this free service in the featured section on LinkedIn. If you have one of these in your comments and you would like somebody to take them down for you, I am a very willing participant. I enjoy it. Just tag me in or send me the post and I will stop by and deal with them for you.
Whether you want them to or not. You can't resist.
Yeah. I can't resist. People send me stuff and I go, obviously I have to get involved. Obviously I have to say something. There's been times where I've messaged a woman going, if you feel free to delete my comment if you don't want that kind of clapback in your comments, but I could not help myself.
No, cracks me up.
And who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
That is an existential question, quite frankly. My name's Michelle.
We've only got a couple of minutes though. So.
I know. It's like I'll wax lyrical on for the next hour. Yes. So I am an organisational psychologist and coach, and I write books and talk about good girl conditioning and how society just loves to keep women and girls behaving. So it's the why and the how, so understanding what the actual fuck is going on. So yeah, I run programs and I write books and I do lots of talking because I like talking. And what I say is actually useful. I'm just talking for the sake of talking.
You're saying that like it's like so you've surprised yourself.
I know.
Everything you say is useful.
Quite often I say something and then I have this like little sort of part of me that comes out looking down on me. I was like, that was fucking genius. I have this all the time. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
And that's so many people feel like that as well, because we are so used to our own expertise and the things that we know that we don't think it's anything special. And then sometimes you like drop something that to you feels like, oh my God, I just say this all the time. And then you say it to someone and they're like, oh my God, mind blown.
Yeah.
So go, yeah, it's
cool. I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I love Which is good because you're play really with you as well.
Yes, and Michelle and I actually, after years of knowing each other and doing this and just generally chatting and having fun, we are hosting a retreat together. So you get both of our energies, which we think is like a nice little yin-yang kind of situation, happening in October, and we're almost sold out, which
I know. You and I need to tell some people just in case they're like, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm like, well, you had your chance.
Yeah, we've just got a few spots left. And it's going to be epic, and we're really excited. It's going to be epic. Yeah, and we've just got the nicest group of women. They're just fabulous, joining us. So yeah, we're really excited. Already starting to think about one in the spring now.
No, I know you sent me a fancy one in Croatia.
Yeah, I've got my eye on a venue in Croatia now for the next one. We think maybe like 2028, maybe.
Yeah, it's like we'll do one in the UK, and the next side, world domination. So yes, that's very exciting.
Yep.
So are you going to do the what even is this bit? Have we done that bit already? Okay, cool. Should we start then?
Yeah, almost. I think I almost did it twice.
Cool.
I started doing it and then I got distracted and then I had to start again because otherwise I lose my place. Yeah, let's jump in. As always, all the trigger warnings. We're going to be talking about sexual assault, child marriage, general sexism, and just far right nonsense. So
yeah,
guard your loins, people.
Yeah, indeed. So first of all, we're going to China. So if you haven't seen this week, where have you been, quite frankly? Yeah, I put it on LinkedIn and I went a bit mental. So this is on your right as we're looking at it. Maybe if it's not been reversed. This is the US delegation.
Yep.
You can see the orange buffoon in the middle. And then on the left is the Chinese delegation. So the US did some sort of trade envoy, took loads of like billionaire company owners as well. So your Microsoft, your Nvidia and all of that sort of stuff too. But this is them trying to, create some kind of harmony around the two biggest global superpowers on this planet, talking about how to make things better. And if you've noticed this already, are there any women in the room? There were two women on taken by the US, which people have been at pains to tell me there were two women. Yeah, look at all of these men. There were two women. They weren't in this room. This is the room where it happens, to quote Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the women were there. So yeah, as you can imagine, not many. Actually, I was surprised at how few people were mean about it.
Yeah, you had a couple. You had a couple, didn't you?
Yes, I need to read this one out because it made me giggle. So we did have some bloke come in Maybe women should work to earn the seat at the table rather than complaining about not having it. Maybe, Mohit, why didn't you shove your bum up your head? Because that's clearly where it is. Like,
yeah. According to Mohit, the only reason we're looking at a table like this is because there were no women that were good enough to occupy a single one of these seats. That's Mohit's argument. The women aren't there because they don't deserve to be. Every single man in here is better than every woman who could have possibly sat at that table. That was his argument. Oh, cool. Bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, given Trump seems to have been on a big push to get rid of a lot of senior women, which nobody could have fucking predicted.
No, he did it last time.
He only put them in those positions in the first place to take the fall.
Yeah.
And to distract us, so he could sack them. And distract us from the fact that,
it's insane. But yes, this is what meritocracy looks like, apparently.
And I think the flowers are there to mark the graves of democracy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does look like a grave, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's so funny because I look at this, and obviously I know this is like, all these senior men like all turn up suited and booted, that I look at this just looks like the least fun room I would ever want to be in.
Yeah.
Like no one's having fun there, no one's enjoying themselves, no one is inspired. It just looks horrific. Like last week I went to, I love being a women-only space. I went to Laura Brunton's Ignited Women event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It was 250 women and it was an explosion of colour and florals. And I don't think there was anybody wearing black. Not a single person in the room was wearing black or even really dark plain colours. It was a feast for the eyes. And I'd love to see that at rooms like this. I'd love to see this table just surrounded by women who just look like they're having the time of their lives while also solving all of the world's problems, which of course we know that if all of these seats were filled by women, it would have just been sorted by now.
I know. And this is what we know. We know when you have diverse groups, you're more likely to be more productive and more caring. And it's like we know this stuff, but this is what we get.
Yeah.
You see what Hannah Spencer has to put up with as well, because she's all colourful and gorgeous, and the newspapers love to pull apart what she's wearing.
Maybe that's why the men all just dress the same, so nobody can have an opinion on it. I don't know. Yeah. Safe. But I was going to say something I've forgotten. Oh yeah, no. Like the benefits of equality, and especially gender equality, I've been borne out again and again and again. Every country where equality and equity is high has better outcomes literally across every single indicator and marker in things like education, employment, mental health, financial stability, growth, safety, maternal mortality. Nearly all of the metrics are higher, and countries are more stable when gender equality is high. But
it's insane.
Let's just get these fucking dickheads off the screen.
Put them in the bin.
Chuck them in the bin.
Chuck them in the bin.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? We think I should create like a little GIF of these things being thrown in the bin. So we can just play that after each example. Current diversity in action. Yeah, isn't it? But they're anti-diversity, aren't they? I mean,
they're aggressively anti-democracy. Yeah. And that was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Anti-diversity to the point where they are suing various places and organizations for daring to have single diversity issue spaces. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of you have been following the updates on the EHRC guidance that came out yesterday But we're seeing the same thing here. So one thing that has been particularly disturbing about the guidance is that women's groups are now able legally to exclude trans women from their spaces, because trans women are no longer protected under the protected characteristic of gender. They are protected elsewhere, but they are no longer included in protections in single-sex spaces. So women's groups now are allowed to legally exclude them. And not only that, if you include trans women, you as an organisation are no longer protected under laws that protect single-sex spaces. So, for example, for Loud Women, I accept, welcome and encourage trans women. I could now be sued if I refuse to let men in because I've waived my right to be legally protected under same-sex space laws, which is at like all kinds of levels of fucked up.
Yeah.
But
I would actually enjoy men coming to your thing and being humiliated, so that might be fun.
Oh yeah, well that's I think yeah, I mean I wouldn't, yeah, if that was the case, if it was like you have to accept men or be sued, then I'd just let them in and just make it so fucking toxic that they wouldn't want to stay.
Yeah, I think there are ways around this, babe. There
are ways around it, yeah. Malicious compliance is one of my favourite forms of activism. I go, you want to come in? All right, come in. I'm going to be talking about toxic men and toxic masculinity and slagging off men every single goddamn day. But yeah, you're welcome if you want to join.
I would be there with popcorn, just to say,
yeah.
This would be my talking about popcorn. So I can't remember what it's called. There's a new show coming out. I was speaking to some of my American friends yesterday, so I'm picking it up. So there's a new Netflix film coming out this weekend with Sacha Baron
Cohen.
So he has it like he knocks his head, and he wakes up in a world where it's like women are the genders have swapped and men are being like humiliated and stuff. So I'm going to get up in the morning and watch that tomorrow.
Me too. It has been slated, but I think it's one of those films that was always going to be.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, because most of the men aren't going to like
Ladies First. I had written it down yesterday. So
yes. So I have seen a few reviews. I haven't read them. I've just read the headlines, and I'm like, oh, that's not. But I am going to watch it. Actually, I might watch it tonight. There's like one of the women's communities that I'm in. They're doing a watch
is it out
party.
Today?
I think it might be today. Because I'm pretty sure they're having the watch party tonight. I could be wrong because
you're probably right because I had this conversation yesterday and I have no idea what day it is. So fun times.
Yeah.
But yes, that's exciting. Okay, so who are we next? Where are we going next?
Oh, okay. I'm trying to. We're on the least worst. This one. This one. Single women are buying more houses. The men they are dating are not responding well. So there's this whole article in The Guardian. It's just basically talking about the fact that women now own more property than men. So women are buying houses by themselves at a higher rate than men the same age. And before you say it, no, we're not talking about divorced women who are buying houses because they got loads of money from their husband, which a lot of the men love to say that. Well, someone did one in the divorce. No, these are single women, never married, buying properties for the first time on their own. Which I fucking love to see it. Fucking love to see it. Because it's only been like 50 years since women were able to get bloody mortgages anyway. And check them out. All it took was 50 years for them to outpace men. And so, this whole article is basically talking to women who are getting backlash, who are trying to date and are being rejected by men because they own their own. So the men, there's mostly like Gen Z women, so like late 20s, early 30s. The men are like, what's the point of me being here if you're financially independent? I'm like,
so. This says way more about you than the woman buying a house, quite frankly.
So to quote, there's one woman, Tiffany, that they spoke to, She said she put the wheels in motion to buy her first home. It felt like a win, but then she obviously, told her someone that she was dating, what she was doing, and he said, "If you buy that house, what's a guy going to do for you?" And Tiffany was like, I don't understand the question. What do you mean? And she said, why would me buying a house be a deterrent for a guy? Wouldn't that be a positive? He went from seeming really nice to kind of aggressive. Like, good luck finding somebody as good as me when you're Miss Independent. Which tracks, because we know that Gen Z men are veering more to the right than any other generation. And it's like over 35% of them believe that feminism has gone too far and believe that women should go back to traditional roles where men are the breadwinners and women stay at home and raise the children.
It's insane. It is so insane. It's like,
yeah,
what do you have to, as a man, wouldn't you think, like, I want a woman to be with me because of me, not my ability to provide? Surely that would be a better thing for them.
Well, I think that's where we were going, and now we've just like swung back the other way, especially for younger people, especially people in their 20s, which are like basically, like the prime kind of dating pool. But they're so insecure. But I would love to see an article talking about single women are buying more houses and just being like, fucking good on you. Like, whoa, why do we have to talk about how men feel about this? Like, genuinely, I could not give a fuck what a man thinks about a woman buying her house. Why does everything that we do have to come down to what men think of it? And whether men want to date us if we do this thing.
Sorry, the first study on endometriosis was how it impacts the men. So it's everywhere.
Yeah. If you guys haven't heard of this, yes, there is a study that was funded by the European Social something fund. Can't remember. Anyway, I've got it linked somewhere. And it's, in at a time when endometriosis is still woefully misunderstood and woefully underfunded, funding went to a study to examine the impact on partners of women that had endometriosis. And guess what they said? Their biggest grumble was that they weren't getting enough sex because their partner was in fucking pain. No. And it's just like, I'm moaning about how there's not enough support for partners. It's like my partner's getting like support and everyone gives her sympathy, but nobody gives me any sympathy. There's nothing for me to help me through this.
Pink said it best. It's just you and your hand tonight.
Yeah, and I just can't believe that's where that money was spent on that. It's just like, I'm pretty sure they could have just asked the women what their partners thought, and they would know, because men are pretty vocal normally when they're not getting enough nookie. Those women would absolutely know that that's what their partners would have said. So yeah, this is the world that we live in.
Karen, and this is my friend. It's my 29-year-old daughter's a lovely girlfriend.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, to the women out there that are trying to date and are financially independent, I'm sorry.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not something I'm even remotely interested in doing now. Why are we bothering? Anyway, where are we going next, Michelle?
Oh, we're going into hell, quite frankly. So,
which one? There's both of them.
I know exactly. My two next ones are both horrific. Let's do Taliban, because I've talked about that one this week. So, the backdrop, we know Afghanistan is, being racked by war and colonization and conquest and all of that stuff. So, the backdrop, it's horrific. The backdrop is, it's horrific to be a woman in Afghanistan, where you have zero rights to healthcare, education, being seen, being heard. Literally, they're making women block up their windows just in case anybody accidentally sees a woman in her house. They're only allowed to see out. They're only allowed to see out of one eye. You know, all of this stuff. There's no medical care for them. There was an earthquake, and women were just left buried in rubble, even though they could have been saved because men weren't allowed to rescue them. So this is, you know, it's horrific. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. And then the BBC, in their fucking wisdom, came along with this story of these poor fathers and how awful it is for them to have to sell their daughters, mostly their 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old daughters, to rich relatives so that the rest of the family can eat.
Yeah.
I don't care about the fathers. I care about the children, the young girls being sold into domestic slavery of a domestic or a sexual nature, because they have just lowered the age of marriage as well. So fun times. So yeah, I do not feel sorry for these fathers. In any way, shape, or form, I feel sorry for the children.
Yeah, I think the tone of that BBC article was just horrifically off the mark.
Mm-hmm.
I think this idea of trying to get us to empathise with the parents,
the fathers, because we're not allowed to hear from the mothers.
No. It just beggars belief, I think. And there's something going on with journalists at the moment. I think just all of media, the way that they are framing so many stories and things that are happening, and it's like removing the harm that's being done by the women to the women and the girls by framing this around the dad's experience, the father's experience, and how difficult this is for the father. Get in the fucking bin. Get in the fucking bin.
Yeah, it's like, hang on a second. You know, if they have a rich relative, surely that the adults make better domestic servants than children, surely. You know?
Well, we know that it's not just about doing housework.
I know. But yeah. It's horrible, and I hate it. Hate it.
Yep, I do hate it. Which actually leads us on to the next one. So in the US, Oklahoma has now just become the 17th state, 17 out of 50, the 17th state to totally ban child marriage. 36 Republicans voted against the bill. So 36 Republicans voted to keep child marriage in place. And bear in mind, this is 17 out of 50, so all of the other states still allow it. I mean, when the US has more in common with the fucking Taliban, at some point somebody has to say, "Were we the bad guys?"
Yes, you fucking are. Yes.
Yeah. And so I let this guy be the voice for the Republicans.
Memes going out saying that it's child marriage, that it's pedophilia. I mean, it's crazy because we already have a current bill. So the current bill allows you, a parent, to give permission to a 16-year-old to get married. What they want to change that to is now an 18-year-old would be the only age you could get married at. So they want to take away the parent's right to give a 16-year-old permission to get married. Now, in cases of pregnancy, or there are cases where a parent might want to give their kid permission to get married, and I think that's between those young people and the parents. And so I don't think the government should be telling us, the people, what to do with our kids.
Interesting take as well, isn't it? Well, I don't think we should let the government tell us what to do with our kids, but we can absolutely tell women what to do with their own bodies. But yeah, don't tell us what to do with our kids. We want to marry our 16-year-olds off. And to his point about pregnancy, in the US, I need to double check this, but I'm pretty sure this is right, around 70% of all teenage pregnancies are caused by men over the age of 20, including girls who are pregnant at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the vast majority of those pregnancies are being caused by adult men having sex with children. And now they want to be able to
children
marry
can't
those
have sex.
children. No. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Not having sex with children, sexually assaulting and raping children. And now they want to keep the law that will allow those parents then to marry that child off to their rapist because they got pregnant. Yeah, I think add to that the fact that there are laws. There's been a new bill passed. I can't remember which state it is now. That allows rapists to claim custody of the children that they father after they rape a woman, and if the woman if she wants to have a termination, she can be sued and imprisoned by the rapist and the rapist family, and if she is deemed not fit, the rapist, because often these women are then emotionally, going through a fucking shit ton and have to deal with the pregnancy, and so are probably not feeling their best in terms of coping with parenting, they can literally steal that child from their mother. So yeah, they want to be able to impregnate children and then marry them off to adult men. Keep the little population going, all of their factory workers and soldiers. Ugh, it's just so gross. And this is the country that they want us to believe is the best country in the fucking world, with the most free people. This is what they're legislating around.
No.
They want to say protect the children, though, don't they? Protect the children. We've got to protect the children from drag queens and immigrants. But grown men being able to rape them, impregnate them, and then marry them, totally fine. Totally fine. In fact, they support it. They want that to happen. All of this, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, all of this protect the children bollocks and protect women, children, it's bollocks. When they attack immigrants, what they're saying is those are our women to rape. Those are our women to beat, not yours. Yeah. They're not interested in protecting women from harm. They just see us as their property and they don't like other people touching their things. Gross. Sorry, that was a little rant. got a soapbox there for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
This is what people come for. They come, we're not going to sit here and just be like, oh, anyway, let's give a really balanced and calm view of these horrific things that are happening around the world.
No, and it's going to get worse. This next one. Is it worse or is similar? It's just horrific. My next one.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys.
So, are you putting a picture up yet? Cool.
Yeah.
So, effectively, a teenage gang of boys who filmed themselves, so 2 separate occasions, filming themselves raping schoolgirls. So 2 separate acts. So they did one, filmed it, laughed about it, shared it amongst people, and then they did it again with somebody younger. So 15-year-old was the first one, a 13-year-old. I think it was 13-year-old was the next one. Hang on. But yeah, teenage girls, children. And that's horrific in itself. There are gangs of boys going around raping and filming girls.
Yep.
What should have happened was these monsters should have been locked up.
Yeah.
But what actually happened, and I found the form this morning to put a sentence, just to complain about a sentence that's been given. what happened is that they got youth rehabilitation orders. The judge, a chap called Nicholas Rowland, told the boys, "None of you need to go to prison today." He said the boys were very young, had low intelligence, a limited understanding of consent, and were susceptible to peer pressure. The judge also praised the boys for their conduct during the trial, saying, "I think of you as very young and none of you have been in any big trouble before. And you've all done very well with these restrictions put in place through the trial." Yeah, the girl, one of the girls who was raped and recorded and had her images of the worst moment of her entire life shared, basically read a victim impact statement saying that she wanted to die.
Yeah.
And these boys are just going to be supervised a little bit because, no. So I am writing today. I am writing to the judicial review people because no.
And this keeps happening. We had a similar case last year.
Yeah.
Again, 13, 14-year-old boys. It's happening more and more often.
Yeah.
And these boys are just walking away with a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
I think
the boys were found not guilty of the other one, and they were filming and raping a girl. So
this infantilizing of young boys, while at the same time adultifying young girls, it's so dangerous, because this doesn't send a message to, this doesn't set an example. Just say that you're a bit dumb and you didn't really understand and you could get away with it.
Yeah.
These boys fully knew that what they were doing was wrong.
Well, the fact that they filmed it and then shared it with people.
Yeah, they fully knew that what they were doing was wrong.
Yeah. You can't tell me otherwise. You're like, oh yes, low intelligence.
Yeah. And if they generally don't know that that's wrong, then there's been a massive failure with the parents.
Also,
maybe we start prosecuting parents again.
Yeah.
If parents truly are not raising their boys to understand that rape is wrong and that they need to consent, and that they shouldn't even be touching a girl under the age of 16 anyway, because it's illegal. Even if the girl wants it, even if the girl says she wants it, it's illegal, and they absolutely should not be doing that.
I know, but yeah, it's horrific. So yes, Karen, I'll send you. I'll put the link into the instructions on how to. We just need to put pressure on politicians, because the sentencing guidelines. If you are old enough to rape somebody, you are old enough to go to fucking jail for it.
Yeah. Even if it's youth offending, even if it's a youth and you get the rehabilitation at the same time, but you should absolutely, if you don't understand basic right and wrong, you don't understand basic consent, you are dangerous to the other people. And this is the whole point of prisons, is to keep the rest of us safe. Not necessarily prisons were not set up just to punish people.
No.
They were set up to keep the most dangerous people out of society, so they don't, they're not a danger to other people. And these boys are absolutely a danger to other girls.
Yeah. And the fact that
they
knew what they were doing because they were filming it and sharing it.
Yeah, I'm fully in favour of rehabilitation. I think, yes, that absolutely needs to happen, especially with young boys. I think they can be set on the right track, but they absolutely should not be allowed to walk free among other people.
No, because what happens next? They gang up and start raping younger children or elderly children, or elderly people, or
And when this is happening every single goddamn day, we're seeing these cases end in no jail time. And all the while it's happening, I'm not listening to a single fucking politician tell me that they care about women, that they're all about protecting women, because we have people that we know have done terrible things and are dangerous to women, and we're just letting them walk free. So, they need to put their money where their mouth is. They need to show that they take a hard line and start making examples of these men and boys, as a deterrent to other men and boys who might decide that it's worth taking the chance because they're probably not going to get any punishment anyway.
And because they're all underage, these boys are not named as well. So the fact is, normal adult rapists, I can't believe I'm saying that word, normal adult rapists, we have their name, we can Google them. But these children raping other children, which again, we've talked about before, that the median age of people being raped is 14. Yep. So most rapes happen to 14-year-old girls.
Yeah. Well, the 14 has the highest concentration of reports. So we're seeing more reports from 14-year-olds than any other age group.
Yeah.
But also this particular situation of teenage boys raping teenage girls is actually quite a new phenomenon. Obviously, it has happened in the past, but the rates that we are seeing is unprecedented. We've never seen these rates before. Never seen them before. And we're now at a stage where, sort of 5-10 years ago, the vast majority of rapes committed against children, were committed by adult men. And that, I think we're like 40% now. 40% are committed by other children. Because they are all children. 14, 15-year-old boys are children. And they're talking about coming into schools. None of that's happened yet, and we've not seen any plans. Delivering a few talks isn't going to cut it. It's truly horrific, and I just feel for the girls and their families who now have to live with this. This is life-altering stuff. She's going to have to live with this. She will never ever be.
There's two of them, two girls, two separate occasions.
They will never be the people that they were before this happened to them. This would have changed them forever. Oh, it just makes you so. We see stuff like this all the time, and you can end up just feeling so powerless, and it is, it's so depressing. But when people, ask me why I talk about it so much, and why I keep raising it, why I keep challenging behavior and stuff, and it's like, we might not be able to change that. That's too big. We can do what we can, like say, write letters, provide support, sign petitions. But if we can impact even a little bit in our own, and I think it's going to take us collectively as women in bigger numbers, just making as much noise as possible for this stuff to start shifting. We can't rely on the men to do it. There's not enough of them willing to get involved.
So what's your last one today, please?
I don't know if any of you have been following this week, but maths has had quite a lot of controversy, especially in the last few seasons, where it just seems the producers are just picking the most toxic people they can find, especially men. And we are watching instances of narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, emotional abuse on our screens, and people are calling it out. And, Channel 4 has done fuck all about it. The contestants obviously will sign NDAs. They're not allowed to talk about it. And BBC have recently done an expose where they found that several of the female participants, claimed to have been raped on the show by the male contestants, the people that they were partnered with. The two of them said that they raised that at the time with Channel 4. Channel 4 said that they investigated, but they couldn't find any corroborating evidence. So they couldn't find proof, which we know in most instances you don't, because it's he said, she said. And still aired the episodes, so didn't take them off, still aired them. So these women not only had the assault, but obviously they film this and wrap it up months before it goes out on air, and then would have to deal with all of the publicity and all of the focus when the episodes aired, and just relive it over and over and over and over again. And now the police they've put out a call to say anyone that has been assaulted on this show, they want to hear from them. They want to build a criminal case. I think particularly, against the show, against Channel 4, for a lack of duty of care and for potentially sweeping abuse under the table. They have now finally pulled all of the episodes, because even when this article was first released, Channel 4 basically said, we investigated it at the time, there wasn't any proof, but they've come under such fire now, and more people have come out and other people have talked about different types of abuse. There was just recently, it came out that a guy, one of the men that they'd recruited for the show, had been arrested for domestic abuse like a week before the show aired. And Channel 4's response was, we are not judge and jury. He didn't get a conviction. Due diligence, guys. Like, if we are throwing people together on live TV and making entertainment of it, we should be doing proper in-depth character assessments to make sure that they are safe. They're not safe people. They're not safe people. So yeah, MAFS has now pulled all past episodes off the air, and hopefully this is the end of the show, that we don't have to witness this anymore, because I've seen some clips on social media. I don't watch it, but I see people that show the clips and then talk about the abuse and talk about why it's awful.
I watched the first season and I was like, I do not like this at all. No, it's the coercion that was happening. It was just like,
and it's just gotten worse, because obviously, you know, for them, conflict is great TV, so they just bring truly terrible people on, and then they don't challenge them anywhere near as much as they should. And I've seen them victim blame the women when it's a clear case of coercion and abuse. They then challenge the women when the women respond, you know, in an emotional way, or, you know, respond in a way that's not apparently
appropriate.
Healthy. Yeah. You know, there was one in the most recent show, they, right at the end, when they brought them all back after the experiment, there was this one woman, she'd gone through this relationship with this guy, and, you know, it'd been quite turbulent. And she'd been saying, like, I feel like this guy doesn't like me. And he was saying all the right things on the sofa. And then right at the very end, the very last episode, when they bring them back for the reunion, the show producers showed her a clip of him right after the marriage, like the next day, saying, oh my God, like, I can't believe that's what you gave me. Like, referring to her as that, you know, this is not what I wanted. I said I wanted this. You've given me this. Like, and just really just being so
entitled,
nasty about her. And then for the rest of the show, pretended like her picking up on his attitude was just her being oversensitive. So they sat on that video all the way through.
That's horrific.
Knowing that he was hiding that, and that actually that was his opinion, and it was showing up however much he was trying to hide it. So I'm glad that MAFS is no more. I feel so awful for these women. I hope that they get justice. But I think this defense of there was no proof, so we just, you know, decided it was more important for us to keep making money on the show rather than take it seriously. I think it just needs to get in the bin. We need to stop it. And of course, all the people coming out who haven't read the article, oh, why is it all just coming out now? And it's like, we fucking reported it at the time, and we're told, no, didn't happen.
Yeah. Did you watch the America's Next Top Model revisiting thing?
Do you know what? I haven't watched it yet. I think I started watching the first 10 minutes and it made me really angry. I'll turn it off.
Don't watch it, because effectively they filmed a woman being raped and then blamed her for that rape and made her break up with her boyfriend, and they're still not apologizing for that. They literally, she was incapacitated because she was drunk, and they put her in that scenario. They put her with people, and it was filmed.
Yeah.
And it ruined her life.
The gaslighting on that show was horrific. They do awful things to the girls, and then shout at them if they had a feeling.
Any
about
reaction,
like you're not here to have feelings. You'll do as you're told. You will take what happens to you and be grateful.
But yeah, it was okay. Really, it's going to upset you. I would just leave it.
Okay.
It's been a lot today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, we did say at the beginning this is quite a heavy one. But you know, it's just important. It is important for us to talk about it, because you know, and there's so much misinformation as well. Like these stories are being shared, you know, and the stuff that come like we had, this how fucking fucked up things are. We had in Brighton 3 women were pulled from the sea last week. All 3 had died. Were pulled from the sea last week. And the very first announcement of it, somebody had posted on X or somewhere that it was 3 women, the bodies of 3 women were found on the beach in Brighton, which they weren't, they were pulled from the water. And from that's all we knew. From that snippet, there were hundreds of thousands of comments basically had jumped to the conclusion that the 3 women had been murdered. They'd been murdered by asylum seekers. And then that was the story that everybody was telling. Everyone responded. Not a single one of those people read the article, which would have just corrected them immediately. And once, you know, you can't put the genie back in the bottle with stuff. All it takes is one person with a big enough audience to put something out. And it doesn't matter how often
their narrative, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, doesn't matter how often you say that's not what happened. This is what happened. They just don't care. So I think it is important for us to talk about these stories and talk about what happened. And our anger is fuel for change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. I'm going to finish off with one FAFO, but it's a good one. So unless you're living under a rock, you know that Tommy Robinson ordered another rally that had, according to Met Police, tens of thousands, not millions, as he claimed it. Pretty sure he claimed it was millions last time, and it wasn't. It was about like 60,000. Anyway, so he held another one of his far-right Nazi rallies, you know, all about protecting the children and protecting women. And
he sent me that thing from Piers Morgan. I'm still giggling about it. Piers Morgan being funny, the singers.
Oh, I know. I can't get over the fact that I am agreeing with Piers Morgan. But yes,
he's agreeing with you.
Yes, he played a clip of. There was a guy that was on stage singing at the end bit, and Piers Morgan shared a clip of it, and it was fucking atrocious. Like, it was so bad. It was funny listening to this guy sing. And anyway, he apparently he was getting tweeted at and messaged by this guy that basically accusing Piers Morgan of sharing an AI doctored clip of him singing that he didn't sound like that, and threatening to sue Piers Morgan. And so then Piers Morgan shared, he said, so I found the original off the live stream of the event from the campaign itself. And I genuinely, like, it was worse. It was even worse than the original clip.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. Yeah, it was just a shockingly awful. The most tone deaf person.
It was a Streisand effect as well. If he just kept his gob shut, it would have like gone away. You know, bad singing.
Yeah.
Look at this, bad singing. Nobody cares. The fact that he thought about it and then he made Piers double down. That's make him famous.
Yes, but anyway, that's not the FAFO.
No, it's not. But also, it was
very funny. But yes, if you need a giggle, go and find that clip. It's Piers Morgan Uncensored, and it's a clip of the singing. I can't remember the singer's name now. But anyway, one of my most favorite forms of activism is this kind of rebellious belligerence, and slightly quiet but very effective form. And as Tommy Robinson was marching, there was somebody set up a fundraiser called Tommy Choose Love. And what they did is they allowed people to sponsor as little as a penny, sponsor the march by donating an amount per mile that the rally marched. And they raised over £200,000 for services that support immigrants, refugees and asylum seekers that are coming into the UK. And I just love it. So people that couldn't be there to be part of the counter protest. So Tommy Robinson's march, everyone that marched every step that you took raised money for asylum seekers and refugees in the UK. The fundraiser's been taken down now because they I don't know what the final number was, but I think they were already on like 210,000 the last time I looked, and their goal was 200. So they smashed their goal and took the fundraiser down. But this is, I don't know who set it up, whoever set up this fundraiser. I hope that your sheets are always cold. I hope that you never snag your cardigan on the door handle. I just hope good things for you always.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that would have made this actually better is if somehow the people marching with Tommy, whatever his fucking name is. That's not even his name. It's like Lennon, Laxby, whatever.
Yeah,
it's like not as working class as one expects him to be. If they were somehow contributing their money as well. So maybe that's something we could get our heads in.
Yeah,
so making the far right actually give money accidentally to a good cause.
Yeah, maybe that's next time. Yeah, hoodwink them somehow. I don't think you can though, because legally, I know this, I've been working in charities for a really long time. If you have to put the organisation that you're fundraising for, it has to be clear, and then you can't then use that for anything else. It's illegal. Okay. But yeah, I'm sure there is some way to mock up a charity page that looks like one thing, and the small print is there that tells you it's not, it's something else. I don't know. I'd love to see it though. But yes,
that's like not us though, because we have got too much stuff to do.
Yeah, not us. Yeah. No, we're already doing too many things.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for another episode of WTF. Where I'm talking about.
Yes. What the fuck?
I have 10 minutes before I join the crack team that is going to be solving a murder this afternoon. I'm very excited, and I get to play cracker.
I can't wait to hear all about it. And I'm gonna write. I'll put in the I think they said in the show notes. Yes, in the show notes, the LinkedIn comments. I'll put the how to complain about a sentencing thing.
Yes, please. Yeah. We'll chuck, and any of the other stuff as well. I'll try and find that Piers Morgan video and pop a link to that as well.
Well, I'll do that because I've got nothing else to do today. Got loads to do.
Okay, yeah. So
I'll put the links. It's easy because it's in my WhatsApp, so I can just copy and paste it because you sent me it.
Yep. Awesome. All right, thanks everybody. We hope you have a lovely weekend. We'll see you next week.